During your journey through high rank and endgame in Monster Hunter Wilds, you're going to need a lot of armor spheres. And in this video, I'm going to break down every way you can actually get them right now. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. If you want to skip to any part of the guide, feel free to check the chapter list down below. So let's start things off with a special meal you don't want to skip out on. If you're defeating monsters and you're carving them, then you might want to go ahead and get an invitation from Maki to receive her meal. In the oil well basin, she will grant you a special skill called the carving skill. After eating her meal, this will allow you an extra chance at carving monster parts. When you basically defeat them, you'll be able to carve them up as usual, and then if this skill procs, you'll be able to get a second carve in. So ultimately, let's say you broke this body part off if it was the tail, and that tail has a chance of dropping a gem or whatever that you might be looking for. You get a chance to carve it one time to see if you get the gem, and then if this pops, you get another chance to carve it again to get that gem. You could possibly get 2 gems from a single carve if you're like god tier RNG, but that's basically what this skill is going to be doing for you. It's pretty amazing. So if you ever see the oil well basin and Maki's little invitation proc up, it's a good idea to go over there and have dinner with them. Special event quests. So throughout our Monster Hunter Wilds journey, there's going to be a time where special events will drop. There's actually one running right now. If you are online and you drop down over to the events quest tab, you don't have to be in a lobby. You can be in a private lobby, or you can be in the solo online mode. It doesn't matter. But you come over here to the events quest tab and you will see these 2 active quests right now: Cuckoo's Gone Cuckoo and Tongue Tied. The Tongue Tied quest is the one you want to pay attention to. It's going to have you facing a tempered Chotacabra. You have to at least be Hunter rank 21 or higher, and if you have a decent build, if you've been marching around, you know, in high rank and in endgame for a while, then you could probably sauce this thing up within about 2 to 3 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Regardless, go ahead and beat down this Chotacabra, and every time you defeat it, you're going to get a chance at getting hard armor spheres, which is pretty awesome. That sounds good on paper, and it sounds good when I say it, but honestly, sometimes when I did this, I only got 1 hard armor sphere, so it's a little lackluster. I wish it gave us more, but for right now, this is what we're working with. I did get lucky sometime and just get like 2, 3 armor spheres from a single kill, and my RNG was just really good, but that's not always the case. There's going to be a lot of better ways to farm armor spheres in this guide, so don't worry, I got you. But we should always be on the lookout for the future events, because eventually they're going to come through and they're going to drop an event on us that's going to give us heavy armor spheres, which I think everybody's going to be extremely excited to do. Next up, monster gems. So some monsters have a chance to drop gems. You can take these gems over to the oil well basin and smelt them into armor spheres of your choice. This is going to be the oil well basin. We hop right up in here. You run over to the furnace and you talk to this guy right over here. All right, you'll jump into his little menu, and here at the top, smelt armor spheres. So you're going to be able to smelt different types of armor spheres, like the regular ones, the plus ones, advanced, hard, and heavy. Each one of these is worth a certain amount of points, the heavy being the max and the regular armor spheres being only 10 points. So let's say we wanted to make a hard armor sphere. You then want to go into all of your materials and basically smelt them to make this hard armor sphere. So I'm gonna go over a couple of amazing gems that you want to be on the lookout for. For example, wyvern gems, bird wyvern gems, and beast gems will all give you about 300 points. These things right here. So if you go ahead and you throw all of these bad boys into the mix and you smelt them, you'll be able to make at least 6 hard armor spheres. But that's not all. Large monsters like Zhu Wu, their gems are worth 500 points, which is even better than this one. Apex predators like Raidao and Nuudra, those gems are worth 800 points apiece. And my favorite, Arkvel, well, his gems are worth 1,000 apiece. So if you love to farm Arkvel in this game, then you want to go after his gem. This gem is probably one of the best damn items in the game because it's going to give you the most amount of points, the best bang for your buck. Now, when farming Arkvel and breaking all of his different body parts, you also get a chance at his other drops like the Arkvel tail, the horn, the pelts, and all this stuff. So you're going to be able to get a bunch of points from all the items you receive from fighting him. So he's probably going to be one of the best ways to farm in this guide. But let's continue on. A great place to start out farming for your gems or for parts that you can go ahead and smelt is going to be to open up your map. So let's go ahead and do that. But basically what you want to do is, let's say this tempered Duna has a couple of gems that it can give us. You will want to push square, go down the menu, go to create quest, and then you want to go ahead and save as an investigation. That way you'll be able to repeat this quest up to 3 times so that you can farm that gem. Now the best thing about this is, because it's a bonus reward, you're guaranteed to get the gem every single time you kill the enemy. So try not to fail these. You can also just begin the field survey and fight the current Duna that is in the world, and that'll be your 4th time of trying to farm for these gems. You want to knock this out as much as humanly possible to catch as many gems as you possibly can. It's not 100% guaranteed that every time you break the body parts of your hunt you're going to get a gem, but as long as it's a bonus reward, you will always get it. Now that's one way you can actually do it, but another way is run over to Ulma. You might already have some investigations that you've saved from previous monsters that are going to give you some gems. For example, look at this. I have an Arc-Veiled right here that's going to give me an Arc-Veiled gem. This is guaranteed a bonus reward, and I'll go ahead and show you something real quick. If I hop into my large monsters and I go over to Arc-Veil, if we go over to the things that he can drop, so right here at the bottom, as long as I sever his tail, I get a chance, a 7% chance at getting an Arc-Veiled gem. Now, like we was talking about earlier, if you have Maki's special meal ability or her special meal skill, then you may get another chance to carve that tail one more time to get another possible drop. That's pretty awesome. The more chances you give yourself, the better. It's going to make your farming a lot more efficient and a lot more fun. But you don't have to fight these high-end monsters. You can just go to your favorite monster and fight that thing over and over, break every single bone in its body so that you can get all of its monster parts, and then take those monster parts over, smelt them, and you'll be good to go. It's completely up to you. But the most efficient monster in the game to farm is definitely going to be Arc-Veiled. He's my favorite, so I'm really enjoying just beating him down and getting all of his little monster parts, so it sucks for him. Good for me, bad for him. Now finally, there's one more way that you can guarantee yourself to get some armored spheres. Nightflower Pollen. So it hasn't been nerfed, it hasn't been gutted, it hasn't been killed from the game. It's actually still a thing. On a full moon, if you go over to the Windward Plains, you could go to the same area that had the Nightflower Pollen. You can go over to the Nightflower, wait until it blooms, and pick the pollen from it. It still works. It's only going to work during a full moon. You have to naturally get that full moon. Now you can force it by closing the application, restarting it. That day is going to be an automatic full moon, and then you just go ahead and you fast forward time until evening, wait 5 minutes, blah blah blah. You could do that if you want to, but just playing the game naturally. If you're in that area and it's about to be a full moon on that day, just run over there to the 2 areas that you have this flower, pick them, and go on about your business. Now when you pick that pollen, you want to take that pollen over to Nata, because you can sell that pollen to Sekka. Sekka is actually going to accept this pollen for armor spheres. That's pretty awesome. It's awesome, but do you really want to use your pollen for that? It's completely up to you. But that's not the only person. There's actually another one, Goddygog. If you come over to Goddygog and you give him ancient wyvern coins, he's going to give you hard armor spheres, which is pretty cool. Like, you have options here. So if you don't have any other reason to use these resources, then why not use them on hard armor spheres? It's going to be a great way to farm these things up, and this guide is to let you know all the different ways that you can do it. So there you go. Now as you can see here, I have a Nightflower Pollen for a golden ticket. I'll go ahead and buy that. And I also have Nightflower Pollen for a hard armor sphere, so I'll go ahead and buy that as well. So yeah, it's a thing. Like, if I have plenty of Nightflower Pollen to spend, so why not spend it on something? You know what I mean? I mean, definitely you want to go ahead and buy the golden relic tickets. That's more of the bang for your buck that you're looking for. But I mean, if you really want those hard armor spheres and you're tired of just farming things up, there's an option. And that's going to be all the different ways that you can get your hands on hard armor spheres to power up your armor in Monster Hunter Wilds. If you like what I do here on the channel, make sure you smash the like button for me and consider subbing so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, and everything else you need for this game. I got you covered. That's going to be all though. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is your boy M of MSensei HD. For now though, I'm going to get up out of here.